Powerful paradoxes that will change your mind. Part 5. This is probably one of my favorites, but it's also the one that triggers a lot of people. This is the failure paradox. You have to fail more to succeed more. Failure is really one of the most misunderstood things in our culture and society today, when everything is glorified, instant dopamine hit, showing only our best selves on social media. We treat it like it's a sign to stop whenever there's failure. But in reality, failure is actually just a feedback. And often, the bigger your success story, the messier your failure record would be. And there's always a story where it would inspire people on how you actually became successful. So I want you guys to take a moment to think about the things that has made you very confident today. I'm very sure that it comes with a story where how you have failed, or what kind of gruesome or uncomfortable thing that you went through, but then you picked yourself up and then you actually did better. So if you want to have success, you have to be prepared to fail. And you need to have that thick skin to fail over and over again in order to have more and more success. I think whether it's in our personal or our professional life, there are moments where we think that we've really done a very bad job and then we couldn't go on anymore. Those are failures. But those people that actually move away from there and got better are people who reflected on the failure, they learned from the failure, they do not allow the failure to paralyze or fear them into shifting their direction. They did not give up and they stick to the plan. Therefore, success eventually happens. So there was a study, a powerful one in fact, in 2019, published in Nature that tracked over 700,000 scientists, entrepreneurs, and grant applicants, those applying for grant funding. They found that those who started failing early but kept going had a much higher long-term success than those who succeeded at the first try. So meaning those who failed earlier part are the ones that have the endurance later on and it's long lasting, rather than those that actually succeeded in the first few part. They were the ones who couldn't deal with it or couldn't sustain it because they didn't experience the failure earlier. So perhaps they were stuck because of that. But people who failed earlier, they went through the stuck, they learned faster, their success became more sustainable. Early failure forces you to reiterate, to refine, and grow. So you grow faster and earlier, essentially. It's a head start. You build resilience and you obviously develop emotional strength. According to a Stanford psychologist, Carol Dweck, when people embrace failure as part of their learning process, growth mindset, they outperform those who avoid it. So failure doesn't slow you down, but avoiding failure will do that. Some self-reminders. If you have failed, you failed recently, you are not behind because you failed. You're only behind because you let the failure define you and let it stop you. Each failure is just a feedback, it's just a signal. So collect enough of those signals and clues and you will eventually win the game. It's not really because you got lucky, it's because you're willing to lose forward. Fail, learn, adjust and repeat. I think that's how the whole success process is built. So a self-reflection question for you today. So what's a failure that you've been hiding that's actually hiding your breakthrough?